Hey, this is Steve from Bleakmill. Today we're showing you some early gameplay from our upcoming narrative FPS, Industria 2. In this scene, Nora discovers a group of Stasi agents in an old mine shaft.
What the hell are we waiting for?
Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
There you are.
No way. The Stasi have made it to
Good
Nordwald.
job we have these disruptors with us.
She can choose to engage directly and risk being overwhelmed, or she can observe her environment and use it to her advantage. The tripod in the centre of the room wards off against nearby Atlas robots, but only whilst active.
Okay, let's hope this thing works. Oh shit, they're coming!
Hey, are you receiving me? Nora, do you read me? If you hear this, don't take any risks. We need you. Laura, please answer the...
So I'm making a new game, and we can finally talk about it, which is a super big relief.
If you hear this, don't take any risks. We need you.
It's Industria 2, the sequel to the first game we did and released 2 years ago, some kind of Half-Life 2 inspired a narrative first-person shooter. And yeah, it's the sequel to it. And when you're seeing this, it's already been announced in the Future Games Show, which is nuts. But right now, as I'm recording this, we are still working towards this announcement. So yeah, we're like producing the trailer, we're making the shop sites working, Steam, GOG and Epic, you know, writing all the texts and, you know, talking with our publisher, making sure the logo is nice and the key art is reflecting the game. So yeah, we're just in the middle of these super exciting but also a bit tiring processes. But yeah, they're super important, you know, especially for us indies, where we are really dependent on these wish lists to be visible on Steam.
If you hear this, don't take any risks. We need you.
So one of the main elements we want to focus on for Industria 2 is replayability. And what that means for us is we're just going to basically remake the whole entire AI system. And we're going to make something called a task-based AI. So basically what that means is we can give an enemy a certain task when the game starts. That could be interact with a computer terminal, that could be look out the window or just walk down a corridor. Whatever they're doing, they can be busy doing that. And then when the player interjects or some event happens in the game, we can change their behavior in a task-based manner. So perhaps an AI is walking down a corridor and then they hear the player and then they want to go investigate. Or maybe they see the player and they think, okay, I'm going to go attack them. Or perhaps they take a more defensive approach and think, actually I just want to take some cover here and call in some friends. Whatever the case may be in that situation, what this is going to culminate in is basically some fluid encounter design, and perhaps the second time you play that same encounter it's going to behave a little bit different. Maybe your friend had a completely different experience, or maybe the Let's Play you're watching acted out completely different to how you experienced it. And all these things are going to really help to make the game feel a lot more fluid, fresh, and just generally a bit more playful.
With indie game projects, it's actually not that common to include audio from the very beginning of the project. But with Industria 2, we are in the very privileged position to be able to include audio in the project's DNA from the very start. That not only means that we are able to improve on a lot of technical aspects of the game, but as we are trying to tell a story with Industria 2, we are able to enhance a lot of storytelling elements in the game very early on. One of our many goals is to getting you closer to our main character Nora and her perception of the world of Industria 2. If you, for example, listen closely to our announcement trailer, you can hear a first iteration of our breathing system. Right now it's still in prototype, but as we are progressing further through production, we will hopefully be able to not only immerse you through the environment of Industria 2 in our game world, but also through the emotional state of our player character.
I'm Lucas and I write the music for Industria Part 2. I also wrote the music for the first part, and with that knowledge gained I want to make some improvements for Industria Part 2. So, what I want to try is to get more defined when it comes to the arrangement, try a more minimalistic approach. The other point is that I want to get more focused when it comes to the storytelling. So this time we plan to get the music integrated in Wise so that it's a bit more fluid than it was in the first part, where we just throw the music in at a very late stage of the development. So yeah, we didn't have the opportunity to go hand in hand with the music and the gameplay. So I will join the project in June for 1 year, so fingers crossed. And there is no music written yet, so yeah, let's see.
'Cause you must confess the things you've done.
A little animation update. We're doing things a little bit differently this time. So in the first game we did everything in Blender. All of our character rigs, all of our animation, and then we would bring that into Unreal. If we had any changes we had to make, we would bounce back into Blender and then go back into Unreal, so on and so forth. So we wanted to cut back on that a little bit and take advantage of Unreal Engine's control rig. So all of our characters are being rigged and animated directly in Engine, which is great for cinematic scenes or any animations where the character needs to interact with a specific part of the environment. We don't have to guess where they should be anymore or export a portion of the map and bring that into Blender and then line it up. We'd probably have to reline it up once we brought it back into Unreal. We can just drop our character into the level and see exactly what they need to interact with. Everything looks exactly like it will when you play it. All the props, all the set pieces, the textures, the lighting. It's really cool. The other thing that Control Rig lets us do is build more procedural control rigs for our characters so that we can actually easily share our rigs that we've already built with other characters, even if those other characters have longer limbs, shorter limbs, extra limbs, or additional things hanging off of them like cables or anything like that. So that is awesome, and that lets us iterate and change things more quickly, which for a small team is always a plus.
Alright, that was the first devlog. I hope you liked it, and I would really appreciate if you would go over on Steam and wishlist the thing. This would help us a lot.
Industria 2 is a narrative-driven first-person shooter that serves as a sequel to the 2019 title Industria. Developed by Bleakmill and published by Headup Games, the game throws you back into the shoes of Nora, a woman stranded in a strange and hostile alternate dimension. Explore a desolate boreal landscape, fight off nightmarish machines, and uncover the secrets behind this twisted reality, all while seeking a way back to 1989 East Berlin. Returning players will find themselves back in control of Nora, haunted by the events of the first Industria. The narrative picks up some time after her initial ordeal, thrusting her into a new dimension with lingering questions. Explore a vast and desolate boreal landscape consumed by a mysterious AI. The world is a visual and atmospheric spectacle, but be wary of the lurking dangers that inhabit it. Engage in tactical firefights against hostile machines. Utilize a variety of weapons and environmental elements to your advantage, as ammo scarcity adds tension to every encounter. Solve environmental puzzles that utilize physics mechanics, adding variety to the gameplay beyond just shooting. Piece together the narrative through environmental storytelling, scattered documents, and cryptic messages. Uncover the truth behind this alternate dimension and the malevolent AI that controls it. The game is said to emphasize psychological horror elements, with unsettling sound design and a sense of isolation amplifying the tension. The game will be released in 2025 on PC. Now, enjoy the game's screenshots and artwork without any interruptions. I'll let the visuals speak for themselves. Enjoy the slideshow.
Girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done.
Area is not safe. I repeat.